Hi there, I'm Lily. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to work a 3-needle bind off, which is used usually just to join two pieces of fabric. It can generally be used on the inside of the work to act as a seam. It's nice and stable. I quite like using it on the outside to give a kind of faux seam, exposed seam look. I'm a big fan of that. But it works exactly the same either way. Just determines which side you have facing. So in this case I'm going to work it so that the seam appears on the knit side, the right side of the fabric, just so we can see it nice and clearly. So I have my 3 needles here. I'm using straight needles just because they're easier for tutorial purposes. You may have circulars, and depending which sides you want to have facing, if you're using straights you may have to slip them so that they're facing the other way on the needle. But anyway, I want the ridge to be on the outside, on the right side of the fabric, so I need to arrange mine with wrong sides together. So you can see here I just had to slip the stitches because this is a straight needle with an end on it and I needed them to be facing like this. So we have the right side there, wrong sides together. I'm going to scoot the stitches up towards the end of the needle. I'm going to do my 3-needle bind off with the yellow. Obviously it will be in whichever colour of your choice, or these might both be the same yarn, and it's very similar to just a regular bind off, except we work through both needles in the left hand here. So I'm going to insert my needle through the first stitch on the front needle, and then I'm going to insert it through the first stitch on the back, so we have both of them together, and then work a very regular knit stitch, just wrapping my yarn round, pulling it through, making sure to catch the back stitch and the front stitch. That's really important that you catch both of them, otherwise it could come unravelled. Pull it off, so we have one stitch. Same again, through the front, through the back needle, regular knit stitch, pull through both of those and off. And now I have 2 stitches on my right needle tip, and I'm just going to work like a regular bind off, cast off, whatever you want to call it. I kind of flick between terms, maybe shouldn't. And then we have removed 1 stitch, so I'm just going to continue in this manner, through the front one, through the back, round to the front and off. Show you one more, through the front, through the back, around and off. So here I'm working in stocking stitch, but the principle is exactly the same if your pattern was rib or moss stitch or whatever it may be. Instead of knitting 2 stitches together, I could then purl. So obviously purling, you go from back to front. So I would go through the back needle, then the front needle, and work a purl there. I'm not going to do that because that's going to ruin my nice neat line here, but if you were working in rib or moss stitch, that is how you would go about working a purl. You'd go back to front instead of front to back. I'll just work to the end of the row now. Just work my very last stitch, so I'll pass this over as I would with a regular bind off. Just tighten up those ends, and then I would go to fasten off. I'm not going to do so here because I'm going to film something else, but we can see the 3-needle bind off there has joined these 2 pieces of fabric. If you wanted this to be particularly sturdy as a seam, you could cast off reasonably snugly, not too tight because it might kind of pucker the fabric, but it adds a good amount of stability to the work. And here I've shown how it would look on the stocking stitch side. I like to use this detail on shoulders, but if you don't like the appearance of it, you could just hold your work with the right sides together instead of wrong sides together, and it will be hidden here. As you can see on this side, nothing to see here. Thanks for watching.